Alright, we're going to pick up from where we left off with our coordinate walker exercise, and we're going to add a little bit more functionality to this game. So the next block we're going to grab is going to be from the controller tab, and from the controller tab we're going to get on A button pressed. So on A button pressed, anything that you put in between inside of this block is going to happen when the A button is pressed. Similar to the start block, anything we put in that block would happen when the game starts. Anything we put inside of here will happen when the A button is pressed. So what we want is when the A button is pressed to splash on the screen the X and the Y coordinate of our sprite. Why do we want to do this? Because we want to kind of explore the coordinate plane, which is how they're going to keep track of the location of the sprite on the screen. And I think it'll be kind of fun. So we're going to start with the splash block. So I think it's splash on screen, and I think you can find that in game. So I'm going to go into game and look for splash. And I'm going to put that in A button pressed. And by splash, they just mean write on the screen. So we're going to write something on the screen. And we're going to actually join some text together. So what I did to get to this text was I went down to the bottom to where it says advanced. I click on advanced and I go down to text, and I am looking for the join block, which is here. So what join is going to do is it's going to join two pieces of text together into one piece of text. And right now I'm looking for my sprite X. So my sprite X is going to correspond to the X coordinate of my sprite. And I'm going to put that in here. And inside of this first block I'm going to say the X coordinate is in a space. So it'll say the X coordinate is, and then it will say the X coordinate of my sprite. But I think it will give us a really long number. So I actually want to shorten that number. So one way we can shorten that number is in this math tab. And I'm going to go down to this little oval that says round. I'm going to drag that on the screen. I think I'm just going to change round to truncate. And I'm going to drop my sprite X into truncate. And then I'm going to drop truncate into this join block. Okay. And let's give it a try. So when we press the A button, it says the X coordinate is 80. And that's what we wanted to happen. But we want to show the Y coordinate as well. So I'm going to hit this plus sign on the end of the splash block. And what that allows us to do is to add more text onto the screen. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try to duplicate this join button, this join block that we made here, and put it into the end here. Let me make this just a little bit smaller so that you can see the whole block. Okay. So we have the X coordinate is truncate my sprite X. And we want this second one to say the Y coordinate is, and we're going to truncate my sprite Y. So this will give us the X coordinate and the Y coordinate. So now that we put that code in there, why don't we test it out just to see how it works. And when we press the A button, it'll say the X coordinate is 80 and the Y coordinate is 60. That's kind of what we wanted to happen. We want to figure out where the different coordinates are on the screen. I don't think I'm quite done yet. I think I want to add a little bit more to this. One thing that I'm going to add is I'm going to go into game, and I'm going to look for for the sprite to stay on the screen. Actually, it is in the Sprite tab. So under the Sprite tab, I scrolled down a little bit and I found this block that says set my sprite to stay in screen, and that's set to on, and that will keep my sprite on the screen. The other thing that I want to do is I want to create kind of some direction so the user knows what to do with the game. So I think in the beginning, I'm going to splash onto the screen, press the A button, to find your coordinates. Alright, I kind of like that. So when my game starts, it says press the A button to find your coordinates. So then I can move around the screen, and I'm not allowed to go off the screen, and whenever I hit the A button, it will give me the coordinates of that location. So I'd like you kind of to investigate and see if you can notice a pattern as to how the coordinates change when you move around the screen. And actually, to improve this game a little bit, I'm going to change the size of my sprite. So I'm going to click on that box where I drew my sprite. Let me show you one more time how to do that. I click on this box here, and instead of 16 by 16, I think I'm going to change this to be 3 pixels by 3 pixels. So what I did is I went down to the bottom left-hand corner and changed these two numbers to be 3 and 3. And that's going to make our sprite a lot smaller, and it's going to help us find more of the different coordinates. Okay, so I drew that red square in the middle again using the smallest paintbrush and click done. And you'll see when I press the A button, my sprite is now a lot smaller. And I can move up into the upper left hand corner. And that coordinate right there is 1, 1. That's interesting. I want you to investigate and see if you can tell what is happening with the coordinates as you move around the screen.